My name is Josalyn Clark.
And my name is Aaliyah Nowell.
And this is WJAG-TV with their weekly school news. AP exams are generally 2 to 3 hour long tests that evaluate the knowledge retained by students over the year in exchange for the possibility of earning college credit. For AP art students, the exam is a portfolio that is completed over the year. Catherine Wayne explores some of the portfolios that will be submitted by Cedar artists this year.
While AP art students may have a longer time span to build their portfolios for the exam, the same amount of hard work is required to achieve a high score. The AP art portfolio consists of a total of 24 pieces, 12 breadth and 12 concentration. Though requiring lots of effort, the exam offers students the freedom to express themselves and their interests to the graders.
You're just doing your art and focusing on your art versus other AP exams. You have to study for a big test and make sure you know everything that you've learned over the year.
Instead of sitting down and taking an exam, you're working on your exam throughout the entire year and then you upload it. So you're not really sitting down, taking a test. You're just uploading photos and written expos about your pieces.
Your breadth is a range of approaches. So you show them different media, you can show them you can do different perspectives and different compositions.
You have your concentration, which is where you focus on the theme, and you can use the same media and same kind of style throughout your concentration because it's more showcasing your ability to take a concept and create 12 pieces from that one concept.
My concentration is kind of this fusion of women and technology and the unknown.
The beauty in women and nature.
For a really long time, I've explored dichotomies accidentally, so most of my stuff usually does end up working out in that respect. I picked the concentration that I do accidentally so it wouldn't be hard to get it done.
I grew up around women because that's my family. There's really no men in there. And so learning about women and how powerful women can be if they stick together, that really influenced what I wanted to do for my concentration.
When creating a piece, you have to consider the concept you want to portray, and before you even make the piece, you have to consider what would help you emphasize and make that concept, whether it's line, color, what kind of texture you're going to give it, if you're going to make it 3D.
I kind of wanted to do an extended consciousness thing, so working off of artificial intelligence. I may add more sciencey elements, really strong vertical lines.
I focus on having color, making sure that I take my time and have everything detailed.
Your concentration is supposed to be connected in subject matter and material. So kind of going along those lines, I use a lot of acrylic paint, I use a lot of watercolor, I use a lot of marker.
A lot of people think art is just about making art, but the exam and even the class itself, you work a lot with writing and you develop a way with words where you can identify and explain stuff.
They're really just showing you and telling you how you've done, what you can do better, what you can improve on, and I feel it can be stressful and sometimes it may not be what you want to hear, but at the same time it can really help you become a better artist.
As the exam nears, students taking an exam must plan out their time more efficiently to meet the 24-piece requirements. This is Catherine Wing from WJAG-TV. Now back to the studio.
Sometimes students need community service hours, but don't know where to go. Trent Dennison looks into the Athens Area Humane Society, asks about volunteer opportunities.
Sometimes people may have animals they may not want or be able to take care of. In that case, they leave them at shelters such as the Athens Area Humane Society. Like most shelters, they rely on volunteers to run.
Our main mission and goal at the Athens Area Humane Society is to cut down on the number of healthy adoptable animals that are at animal control and are euthanized every year. So we work really hard to adopt, we pull most of our animals from animal control, and we have them spay or neutered, and then we adopt them out. We also have the spay-neuter side that helps cut down on the number of animals that are going into animal control. So
volunteering may be fun, but it also has benefits such as getting community service hours, as well as looking good on college and job resumes.
You can go online, and we have a drop-down section that you can sign up, and you guys, we'd love to have you. If you're under 18, you do have to have a parent sign your release form. So, but yeah, you go online, you can see the time slots. We do limit some of the afternoon slots because we don't have very much parking here, and we're working on that. We're trying to get a bigger place, but our volunteers basically sign up to either work with cats or dogs, or you can sign up to work with both. There's a lot of socialization involved if you volunteer in the afternoons. Morning, there's a lot of cleaning involved, so if you want to come help us in the mornings, you do help a lot of times with cleaning, and or you may take the dogs out in the yard while they clean their enclosure, kind of thing. So yeah, we totally rely on volunteers, and we really appreciate them.
If you would like to volunteer, just go to their website at athenshumanesociety.org and select the day, time, and role for which you would like to volunteer.
Athens Peer Court allows students that commit misdemeanors a chance to be judged by a group of their fellow students instead of having to go to an adult judge or jury. Claire Langford got more details and information about Peer Court for those interested in volunteering.
Emily Bonas is public service faculty at UGA and the director of Athens Peer Court. Emily tells us more about this unique court in Athens.
So Athens Peer Court is a diversionary program in which we teach middle and high school students to be the lawyers, judge and jury, or advocates in sentencing hearings for youth who have been arrested. And those youth are we call them respondents, and they're anybody it's their first time committing a crime and their first offense, and the crime is a misdemeanor. They get a chance to speak in the courtroom. So in a traditional juvenile court hearing, they don't always have that opportunity. They're represented by a lawyer or their parents are speaking for them, but in this case, they get to speak for themselves. They have their hearing date set on a Tuesday evening, and they come to juvenile court. And then they have about 60 days to complete their disposition, and once they do that, then they no longer have a record.
The goal of Peer Court is to help out our community by giving the court systems a place to send kids who may not necessarily need juvenile detention or more serious actions. And it also gives the respondents, the people who come here, a chance to have a fresh start.
When we get into Peer Court, the first thing we do is we're assigned a role. After we're assigned a role, we are assigned a case number and the individual in the case. And after that, we have to perform our specific roles in the courtroom. After that, the respondent receives their disposition, and they are given the amount of community hours that they are to serve.
This program started in 2012 when I met with the juvenile court judge, Robin Shearer. I had the idea because I participated in one when I was in high school, and I really enjoyed it. So when I moved to Athens, I thought that it would be a good thing for the community to have a peer court.
Back in 8th grade, Peer Court was actually recommended to me by my counselor, and that's how I got involved in it.
I first got involved in Peer Court because I was in a public service scholars program for UGA, and I'm just there as a supporting person during the hearings.
Well, I think for the respondents, hopefully it's a way for them to see kids in their community who are doing a good thing to help them with their case.
If you have a few roles that are still done by adults, it still separates the respondent from them, because a lot of the times I feel like the respondents will feel more comfortable and more open to kids their own age because they feel like they understand their lives. Why would we ever switch back to or ever use adults when kids can do the same thing?
As the peers go to the same schools and interact with the same adults in their community, they can understand where the kids are coming from, and that they can understand, you made a mistake, but there's an opportunity for you to repair that harm.
Peer Court is not only just beneficial to the respondents, but also helps volunteers develop new skills.
Well, because of Peer Court, I definitely now understand that everybody who does something wrong is initially not a bad person.
And the goal for the youth volunteers is to develop skills like interviewing clients, public speaking, communication, working with people they don't know, meeting new people. I think volunteers definitely grow those skills like public speaking. They get better at preparing their statements. They get better at learning from each other.
Volunteering for Peer Court has definitely impacted the way that I present myself. It has impacted the way that I write and talk with people. I'm definitely more confident in the way that I speak and what I put down on paper. The main roles that I play and my two favorite roles in Peer Court are judge and youth advocate. I like these roles the best mainly because I get the one-on-one interaction with the individual who initially caused harm to the community, but I like to talk with people. I want to be able to look at things from their point of view and understand where they're coming from.
A lot of volunteers coming in don't realize so many people have such like different lives from them, and it really gives them perspective and allows them to like grow and be more empathetic towards individuals that like they may not ever like have talked to in the past, or like they never get the chance to talk to. So a lot of people are worried that kids doing this are not mature enough to handle this because they are handling real cases and these are people's lives that they're like weighing in on. But we haven't had a problem with that just because we do have training that we have the volunteers go through.
Trainings for new volunteers occur every January and August. Any 8th grader through 12th grader in Athens-Clarke County is eligible. It's a free 13-hour training at UGA.
I think having Peer Court in Athens is very positive. It's positively affecting our community. People deserve a second chance.
So I think it gives the community members a sense that like the community does care about their kids and they want them to like do well in the future.
I believe that just about every county could do some positive work with having a Peer Court in their local area.
For more information, you can check out the Athens Peer Court website. This has been Claire Langford for WJAG-TV.
On February 9th, the Linden House held an art exhibition called Sitting with the Elders, Stories of Black Athenians. Various people from the Athens community came to view the exhibit. Radwan Jamul went to check out the event.
You know, for me, when I sit with the elders, I hear them say, be steadfast and be diligent in this work. Be kind and yet speak your truth. Be not afraid as long as your heart is in the right place and doing it for the right reasons.
So the name of the exhibition is called Sitting with the Elders, and I chose that title because I wanted to really find a way to capture the wisdom and the knowledge of the elders in our community, and to really be able to preserve that, the stories and the accounts and some of the things that we're able to do and accomplish to help shape Athens history, and to be able to capture that in a story and kind of transfer it to the younger generations.
Broderick Flanigan's Sitting with the Elders art exhibition showcased Black Athenians who have impacted the Athens community. Many were a part of the desegregation movement in Athens, and some of them came to the exhibit to pass down their history.
I was absolutely floored to know that I was featured, and I, like Ovita, thought, boy, you never know what your actions are that will influence someone.
The sister went to Athens High, and she was the only African American there that whole year.
My sister and myself was first born in 63, not 66. That integrated Athens, St. Louis, Athens. And then I went to child, that's where the 7th grade was going. And I went to child school.
So she said she was in food management over at UGA, and she was one of the reasons why Herschel Walker was able to do what he does. She recently appeared in one of a Netflix series that's on, like, I think it's called Trigger Mike or Trigger Warning. But they were talking about Black entrepreneurship and Black businesses.
My mother wanted to get out in the community and make a difference, and she was kind of hesitant about it. And she was telling some of her friends, I want to go out there, we need to make a difference. Things need to change. She said, but I don't have the education. And the person that she was speaking with said, go on with what you got. My mother stepped out in the community and started making humongous differences. In the 60s at Athens High School, is now Clark Central, she enrolled the younger kids into that school. And we had to tear down those racial barriers. You know, it was not easy for us, and she knew it would not be easy for us. You know, we had things thrown at us. We would stand at the bus stop. The bus driver would go past us. We would end up walking to school. We had the white students trying to push us off the bus, you know, and then you go into schools and the teachers was prejudiced. I remember getting in a fight on the bus. I was pushed off of a seat. And I went back and told my mom, I said, every time I sit on the bus, this white students are pushing me off the seat. And she said, the next time they do that, just look over to him and say, do you like me or are you afraid of the other guy who's sitting next to you? And I got in quite a few fights, but we would come back and tell my parents. They would give us the motivation and tell us to go back in and break those walls down.
Every elder in our community has a very unique experience and history, and all that knowledge is lost when they pass. And one way that we can try to maintain their legacy and maintain that library, that store of knowledge alive and pass that on to future generations is by doing things like what Broderick is doing with the artwork, with the interviews, so that we can maintain our history and our heritage.
Going even back to the principle of like the elders having so much wisdom and so much knowledge and so many things that they can like really share with other people. But when an elder passes away or dies or transitions to the other side of life, you really lose a lot of that information, that wealth of knowledge, unless you try to preserve it in some way, either through writing it down or recording it on oral histories, or some type of way to really transfer that knowledge and keep that knowledge within our community. Trying to make sure that those histories aren't forgotten and erased, because a lot of the landscapes and like the buildings and things of that nature that were in the black community during times of segregation got lost after integration because black people were forced to go into spaces where white people traditionally dominated. So we lost a lot of our schools, a lot of our other buildings that were not churches and stuff like that.
I was drawn to the one of the Reverend here. It is such a, I thought a striking likeness of him, but I also, having the voice as well, being able to hear him while you're looking at the painting, especially because he's passed, I think it was very impactful for me, and I think it's the one that moved me the most.
My favorite portrait actually is Miss Mary Frances Early right here. She was one of the first African Americans to graduate from the University of Georgia. So I actually met her while she was still alive, and she really inspired me to do some of this work as well. I was on campus at an event that she helped host and to help organize, and she really received me very well. She didn't know I was going to paint a portrait of her, so I kind of surprised her. But just from hearing her story and learning about the work that she did, she intentionally came here to the university to help out, like Charlene, Herner Galt, and Hamilton Holmes when they were integrating the University of Georgia, and she came here to support them, but she ended up being the first to graduate from UGA with a degree. So the colors are mainly red, black, and green, and I drew that inspiration from like Marcus Garvey and some of his work in Pan-Africanism. The colors of the Pan-African flag are red, black, and green. So red stands for the blood, black for the people, and then green for the land and resources. So I chose to paint the background colors red, black, and green. The educators all have a red background, the entrepreneurs and the artists, and they have a black background, and the historians and elected officials and community organizers, they have a green background.
There's still a lot of things, of course, we all know that need to be addressed in Athens, I guess, but I'm also excited by the younger generation that are coming up, because they are, and I've said that to them for the last 10 years, is that they are not the future leaders, they are the leaders. Yes. We are the leaders of the past.
Now to sports.
Welcome to WJAG-TV Sports News. The Cedar Show's football team has been able to sign 5 of their players to various schools around the Southeast. Most recently, Devontae Bakes and Kiana Smith and Blake Gresham were signed to college teams. A ceremony was held last week to honor their achievements.
It prepared me for like life. It prepared me just to not give up, and whenever I start something, taught me to finish it, and just keep going. And it just taught me how to be a young man, because one day I'm gonna have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, provide for my family. And that's what Coach Riles had to do, waking up at 6 in the morning, going to practices, is because it was for the team, and it's something that we had to do because he's showing us like life lessons that we're going to use one day.
It helped me a lot. Being in the program taught me how to be a leader, how to be a better man, student, and ball player. So altogether, it just developed me as a person.
It helped me by the teachers staying on task, keeping me on task.
Man, my goals is, do the best to my ability, represent the school well, represent my coaches, my family well. I just want to do right by everybody who has helped me get to this point, because I don't want to let nobody down, because everybody has put all their energy and time into me, and I just want to give back to them.
My goal for college, for football, is to, I guess, make it to a better school, go to a Division I school, and just still continue to develop as a player.
To graduate and go to the next level, NFL.
My family helped me get to this point, my grandma, my grandpa, because, they raised me and made me who I am today, especially my teammates, because, I couldn't be here without my teammates, pushing me in practice, getting on me, having our little skirmishes, and just like the coaching staff. We're a great coaching staff. They pushed us and made us into great young men, and they just really didn't give up on us, even though when there were times when we didn't look like we wanted to be there, they pushed through and was like, we got to do this. And the person that influenced me the most, I don't really know, but if I had to say, I'll say Coach Paulson. He's a crazy old man. I look to him like he's my dad. So it's just, I try to strive to make him proud, and he inspires me because he has his little resume from his previous school. You see all the little accolades he got, and I'm like, man, this crazy old man did all this. I'm like, I want to be like that one day, just make him proud, make everybody proud,
I can say the person just at the top of my head would be Coach Riles. He formed me to the quarterback that I am today, taught me everything that he knows, and still showing me stuff today.
My mom, my dad, the coaches, and one coach, Coach Dallas, he has influenced me because he always kept telling me to push and not to give up.
Both the varsity girls and boys basketball teams have made it to the state tournament. The boys are hosting Columbia at home Saturday at 6 p.m. while the girls are traveling to play Southwest DeKalb away.
It feels good to participate in the state tournament. This is my second year on varsity, and we went last year, but we got knocked off in the first round. And it's good to be back this year. We're going hard. We're going hard at practice, working over plays, going back over stuff, fixing new things that we need to work on, and just doing everything we've been doing, but just putting 10% more into it.
It feels good because we've been working hard all year. Working hard in practice and pushing each other and staying focused.
It feels good. This is somewhere we've always wanted to be. We wanted to be this whole year because last year we made it to the first round and lost, and our whole goal was to make it to the state championship, and we made it to the state playoffs, so that's a good start. We're just taking it one game at a time. Before every game, the week before, we prepare by talking about the team we're about to play and game plans on how to stop what they do, watching film, and just working on our own individual skills and how we can work on helping the team win. Home of family and all that there to support us, a lot of school people, and yeah.
Thanks. It feels good because we put in a lot of work to get here. We were working hard, practicing hard, being dedicated, and being here every day to get better. So we have the momentum, we have the crowd with us.
That's it for this week's sports news. Now back to the studio.
Once again, my name is Elena Gorshin.
And my name is Olivia Duver. And this has been WJAG-TV with their weekly school news.